I wake up before the alarm because the room is already awake without me. There is a low hum, air conditioning adjusted to a temperature I didn't choose, footsteps outside the door, someone murmuring my name like it's a credential. For this one day, I am Lionel Messi. Not metaphorically, not aspirationally, legally, contractually, culturally. The name alone has mass. It bends the morning. I don't sit up yet. I wait, the way you do when you're hoping reality will correct itself. It doesn't. The phone on the nightstand is vibrating with a patience that feels trained. Messages stack themselves without urgency because urgency is implied. Missed calls from people I don't know personally, but who somehow expect access. There is a quiet confidence in how the world assumes I'm available. When I finally move, the door opens before I reach it. No knock, just permission already granted. Someone asks if I slept well, not because they need the answer, but because that question is part of the role. Another person is already listing the day, and I realize the list was written before I was conscious. Security appears in my peripheral vision like punctuation. I didn't ask for protection. It arrives anyway. Everything is softer around me, except expectations. People smile faster. Rules feel optional. A simple nod from me rearranges schedules. Yesterday, I waited. Today, I am waited for. The shift is immediate and unsettling. I haven't done anything yet, and the world is already responding as if I have. The discomfort isn't moral, it's mechanical. This authority doesn't fit. It's like wearing a tailored suit over a borrowed body. My voice sounds the same in my head, but outside, it carries consequences. A casual sentence becomes a headline risk. Silence becomes a strategy. Even hesitation is interpreted as intention. There are assistants asking for decisions I don't understand the stakes of yet. Approval here, confirmation there. A glance that gets translated into direction. I notice how quickly my confusion becomes someone else's problem to manage. That's the real power, not having to explain uncertainty. I feel a pressure to be careful without knowing why, which is worse than knowing exactly. Nothing is heavy in my hands, but everything feels heavy when I touch it. Influence arrives instantly, without consent or preparation. And it doesn't ask whether I'm comfortable. It just assumes I am. I haven't left the room, and already I miss being unremarkable. I know by mid-morning that this power has an expiration date, and that makes it dangerous in a very specific way. Borrowed authority removes the instinct to preserve it. I don't need to maintain the myth. I don't need to be liked tomorrow. That realization loosens something sharp in me. The first thing I do is speak without cushioning. No metaphors, no gratitude paragraph. When someone asks how I feel about legacy, I say the honest version. That fear shaped me more than ambition. That I played most of my career trying not to disappoint, rather than trying to dominate. The room stiffens. Someone laughs like it's a joke. Someone else stops typing. Later, this becomes a shocking confession and a sign of hidden instability. I said one sentence. It grows teeth on its own. I turn down a scheduled appearance without explanation. Not a polite reschedule, just a no. The response is immediate and disproportionate. Calls, clarifications, a request to reconsider for optics. Apparently, absence is a statement when you're supposed to be visible. My refusal is treated like defiance, which is funny because it's just disinterest. I go outside without announcing it. No entourage choreography, no cameras tipped off in advance. Security panics quietly. A man buying coffee freezes when he recognizes me, then relaxes when I don't perform recognition back. I pay for my drink. That becomes a story. Humble. Calculated. A message to fans. I was just thirsty. I give money away where it won't be photographed, not in large dramatic gestures, Small, awkward ones. Covering medical bills, paying a debt that someone never asked me to notice. These actions feel almost illicit because there's no narrative attached. Later, someone finds out anyway. The help is reframed as strategy. The people I helped are turned into symbols. I realize privacy is not something money can buy once your name becomes public property. At lunch, I answer a question I'm supposed to dodge, about sponsorships, about how silence is rewarded. I say that contracts shape speech more effectively than censorship ever could. The word controversial appears within minutes. Brands issue statements clarifying positions I didn't accuse them of holding. I didn't name names. That's what makes it worse. Power hates vagueness unless it controls it. I ignore my publicist's script and speak plainly about how admiration can erase accountability. I mention that famous people get forgiven faster, believed sooner, protected longer. The irony is immediate. My criticism is taken more seriously because I'm the one saying it. The exact point proves itself in real time. People nod because the right mouth delivered the sentence. Every normal action bends under interpretation. A frown becomes frustration. A smile becomes reassurance. When I sit in silence, commentators fill it for me. When I joke, someone feels attacked. Meaning detaches from intention and attaches itself to status. I watch truth behave like a currency that changes value depending on who hands it over. By late afternoon, I'm half amused, half alarmed. Infrastructure moves faster than I do. I make an offhand comment about fear being a better motivator than love, and suddenly there's a panel discussing my mental state. I help someone quietly, and it becomes a philanthropic pivot. I decline to comment, and the refusal becomes commentary. What disturbs me isn't the attention, it's the elasticity of reality. Influence doesn't amplify truth, it edits it. It removes friction. It turns guesses into conclusions. It makes people protect the idea of you instead of listening to what you say. As evening settles in, I realize the most forbidden act isn't rebellion. It's sincerity without performance. Saying something unprofitable. Helping without branding. Refusing to play the role cleanly. Tomorrow, this ends. The name will return to its owner. The gravity will lift. But the residue will stay with me, the understanding that power doesn't just open doors. It rewrites language, distorts intent, and decides which truths are allowed to exist at all. By evening, the air around me changes before anything else does. The same people are still nearby, the same protection still in place, but there's a thinning I can feel. Like applause fading before the hands stop moving. Everyone knows this version of me is almost over, even if no one says it out loud. I notice how quickly urgency evaporates when time runs short. Fewer questions. Fewer demands disguised as options. Decisions that felt critical this morning are quietly deferred. Power doesn't end with drama, it tapers off. It leaks away through polite smiles and rescheduled conversations. I'm still Lionel Messi for a few more hours, but I'm already becoming yesterday's headline. The strange part is that my identity hasn't caught up yet. I still walk into rooms and watch people adjust their posture. Doors still open before I touch them. But now I can see the mechanism behind it. The respect isn't personal, it's rented. And the lease is almost up. I think about tomorrow, when my words will shrink back to their original size. When silence will mean nothing instead of strategy. When rules will harden again instead of politely stepping aside. There's relief in that, which surprises me. Influence is loud even when nothing is happening. It hums. It watches you back. Fame doesn't solve problems. It replaces them with higher maintenance versions. Instead of insecurity, there's surveillance. Instead of doubt, there's expectation. Instead of loneliness, there's isolation with witnesses. Every interaction becomes a performance review. Every private moment is provisional, pending discovery. It's almost funny how easy it was to borrow this for a day. No training, no build-up. Just wake up and reality rearranges itself. Living inside it permanently must be exhausting in a way caffeine can't fix. There's no off switch, no room to be incorrect quietly. Even rest looks intentional. As the night closes in, I sit alone longer than anyone expects me to. No interviews, no statements, just the sensation of gravity preparing to release me. I imagine waking up tomorrow with the world no longer leaning in, no buffer, no automatic belief, just consequences sized correctly again. What stays with me isn't envy or awe, it's the unevenness. How temporary influence is treated as truth, while permanent effort often goes unnoticed. How easily meaning changes when spoken from a pedestal. How fragile fairness becomes in the presence of a famous name. When this ends, I'll return to normal life without ceremony, but not unchanged. I'll carry the discomfort with me, the knowledge of how thin the line is between being heard and being ignored, and how little that line has to do with merit. Power didn't corrupt me today. It clarified things. And that might be the most unsettling part. Disclaimer: this video is a fictional, satirical thought experiment created for entertainment and reflection. It does not represent the real thoughts, actions, intentions, or private life of the celebrity mentioned. The narrative is a conceptual exploration of fame, power, and influence as social phenomena, and should not be interpreted as a factual account or personal portrayal of any individual.